Hello and welcome to Pluribus Unum's Fireside Chat. Not as good as ours, but hey, it's something. Now, this episode is one that I really don't think if you were a normal person, you probably wouldn't or shouldn't make this, but I decided to make it anyways because I thought, well, this could be content. Now, just by the title, you probably, I don't even know what I'm going to title this, but we'll figure it out when it comes out. You've read the title, I haven't, at least not yet, and yeah, we're just going to go over that. But first, let's get right into the news. First, Ukraine, World War III? Maybe. We don't know. The latest news story that I actually have an official news story for is Russia to stage massive nuclear drills amid Ukraine standoff. Now, during the day, it was trending Russia invaded Ukraine, but the thing is I didn't find anything that actually said Russia invaded Ukraine. We're still in the preliminary of that. If they do, they haven't done it yet. If they haven't, well, again, they haven't yet. We don't know if they will, but maybe they will. Okay, there's not much else I can really say. I don't think the US should go to war with Russia because we will all die. And I know what many people are going to say. Does it mean you support Russia? Of course not. I'm not. What are you talking about? You see, because this is a big thing that has actually happened with this Russia-Ukraine thing. There's a bunch of people who, if you immediately go to, I'm against the war with Ukraine and war with Russia, people will immediately go, so you support Russia now? It's like, no. When did this become a thing? And they'll go, do you support Russia? No, I don't. There were people who legitimately got mad at DSA for saying, we do not stand with a war with Russia. And they're like, I'm canceling my DSA membership because they didn't oppose Russia harder. And it's like, they are DSA, Democratic Socialists of America. What do you expect them to do with Russia? Go to Russia to protest? Newsflash, they don't live in Russia. They live in America. And I know this is going to sound blasphemous, but it's not going to sound blasphemous, but it's not that I don't care, it's that my solution just doesn't actually register in the radars because my solution is simple: no war. Russia, don't invade Ukraine. America, don't send troops to Ukraine. That's my solution. And nobody's going to listen to me because that solution would be the smartest solution. But it seems we're still in this route of people who don't necessarily want to do things, but also want to do things. Like, Putin wants to invade, obviously, but he also has the slight fear of, what if these guys are actually serious and they will actually go against me? What if these guys actually do legitimately want to defeat me? What if they will actually strike back at me if I invade? But he's also like, but will they? They won't. And America, it's like, Putin is not stupid enough to invade Ukraine. Is he? Everybody thinks, it's the Cold War again. Will they do this? Won't they do this? You're too smart for this. We're too smart for this, right? Maybe? Which is why everybody's saying World War III is imminent. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll have to wait and see, and hopefully it's not. The next story is an update on Honduras, but actually for a completely different reason. The ex-Honduran president, Hernandez, is arrested. He has been I think he is going to be extradited, or he has been extradited at this point. But Hernandez has been arrested for drug-related charges because the Honduran political climate was essentially governed by basically a narco state ever since Manuel Zelaya was kicked out of office. Well, couped out of office. Ever since then, the Honduras has basically been a narco state. But the thing is, what's interesting is just Hernandez himself. Hernandez literally symbolizes, he was the president that was elected right after Zelaya, and was one of the loudest voices of like, we need to stop Zelaya because he's going to change the constitution to institute so that he could run for another term. And he had 2 terms. This is, I mean, good on Honduras for actually holding previous leaders accountable. I hope other countries were able to do this. I would hope American leaders hold Trump accountable for all of his actions, and Mexico holds a bunch of their previous presidents accountable for their actions. Speaking of Mexico and people being held accountable, an interesting development has happened. Okay, so Ricardo Anaya has actually been arrested, or, well, I mean, you can't see it because of now El País won't allow me to see it, but oh well, I'm just going to continue talking about it anyways because I usually just have the headline right there so you can read it yourself. You know, I'll at the very least pull up a different picture, like, Anaya, Mexico. Okay, so this guy, Ricardo Anaya, he was the guy who got second place in the last presidential election against AMLO. He was the candidate of the PAN, the PRD, the Citizens Movement. He got second, but it was only one state. Now, he's actually been interesting because he's essentially tried to position himself as like, he's like a new face for the PAN. You see, rather than the traditional, like, Christian Democrat / conservative types that the party usually has, this guy's more of a, I guess you could say, libertarian-esque. Sort of like he ran on the idea of a UBI during the presidential campaign, and he's met up with Angela Merkel, basically trying to continue the trend of like center-right leaders that are sort of like a liberal-ish. But the thing is, he just got arrested, or at the very least, he like was recently tried, but he didn't appear in his trial, and now he's going to be arrested. Now, you might say, why is this necessarily interesting? Well, you see, Anaya is actually the person that has been reported to be the best poised to run the coalition against AMLO in the 2024 elections. Because, as I said, this guy, he was not only the candidate of the PAN, but he was also the candidate of leftist parties like the PRD and the Citizens Movement. So he definitely has like broad appeal. People even speculated that he was going to run for a Senate seat so he could become like the prime voice against AMLO. And so far he hasn't done that. We'll have to wait and see how things pan out for Anaya, and maybe if AMLO actually does get that challenge that he needs. Well, not that he needs, that they want him to have. So anyways, next story. This one is a very interesting one. It's COVID news. Governor Roy Cooper encourages North Carolina schools, local governments to end the mask mandates. During a Thursday news conference, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper and health officials recommended that schools and local governments end their mask mandates. The guidance comes as COVID-19 metrics across the state have continued to decline in recent weeks. There's been a significant drop in Omicron cases as more school districts continue to drop mask mandates, making face coverings optional for students and staff members. Now let's just briefly take a look at, let me see. Map of cases. I mean, total cases 90,456. Let me see. Total cases in North Carolina 2.56 million, up by 4,955. Basically, this is what this is. This is what this is. People are basically trying to go back to normal. It's been very abundantly that everybody wants things to go back to normal. Democrats really want to make things to go back to normal so that they can pretend oh, we solved COVID. Like, they want to desperately be able to run on, like, we stopped COVID and people are finally getting home. That's what they actually want. That's what they want. They want a return to normalcy. That's what Biden ran on, a return to normalcy, that he would defeat COVID and everything would go back to the way it was. And here's the thing. A lot of people, they are kind of agreeing with that. I mean, it's not that they desperately want to go back to school or anything of the sort. It's that they do just want a sense of normalcy. And I mean, I think Roy's going about it the wrong way. Like, I mean, it's, again, I'm not sure this is a good idea. I just looked at the cases, they may be going down, but it's like, is it down enough to actually warrant this? Like, unless a decent amount of the population is vaccinated, then is this really a point at this point? Anyways, there's not much else I could say. I think this is not necessarily the best idea. At the very least, he shouldn't... Like, at the very least, I think he should... If anything, he needs to keep the mask mandate. That's the one thing that is very big that he should probably keep. But again, that doesn't fit with the return to normal narrative. So anyways, the next story is actually going to be one of the best news stories that you'll hear. Okay, so listen to this. The left neutralizes the Dem establishment in Pennsylvania Senate primary. You want to know what this means? Like, listen to this. At one time, the Democratic Party would have cleared the Senate field for a candidate like Connor Lamb. Not anymore. Like, this article, it says, like, this article is basically the Democratic Party admitting that they've given up on Pennsylvania. Let's see. Trailing progressive frontrunner Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman in both fundraising and polls. Even more surprising, the party establishment hasn't swooped in to help Lamb, despite the fact that Democratic leaders have aggressively recruited candidates with a profile like his to run for Senate in the past. Lamb's predicament offers a window on how the Democratic Party has changed in the recent years. Progressives have gained major foothold, small dollar fundraisers have upended election dynamics, and moderate white men like Lamb are no longer shoo-ins. I think it just probably has to do with not wanting to wade in and anger progressive base because Democrats need progressive base to turn out, said Mike Meekus, a Democratic strategist who is a veteran in the state and House campaigns in Pennsylvania. I understand why they're staying out. It can cause a lot of headaches in various constituent groups as well. Like, basically, like, that is literally him giving up. Like, Lamb doesn't give up. He says polling is nowhere near reliable, as people like him make it out to be, particularly this early in the race, before many people have learned much about us. So in my opinion, the score is 0-0 and the entire game left to be played. If online fundraising... And this is one thing that actually kind of, like, makes me go, like, what? This is your thing? If online fundraising was what determined these elections, you'd have either Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump as the president. Buddy, Trump was president. He won. Trump won the presidency. You're actually thinking like that this is your strategy to win? Like, oh, if online fundraising determined who won elections, then Donald Trump would have been president. And it's like, he was. Like, this is the thing. This is a good story, all things considered, because, like, and even in this cycle, state Democratic Party, like, basically what the DSCC has done is that they have delegated what was originally, like, the top Democratic Party commission. Like, the DSCC used to openly, publicly endorse candidates in open races. But now the DSCC has essentially, they're not even endorsing candidates in races that are literally one candidate. Like, Peter Welch in Vermont, he hasn't received an endorsement from the DSCC yet, even though he's basically guaranteed the position. They basically delegated all of the power of, like, choosing nominees to the state party, and the Pennsylvania Democratic Party is not stupid. They know that at the end of the day, they need progressives to turn out, so jumping in and saving a moderate guy and giving all their money and support to him will not turn out progressives, and it's best to let things play out. And as of right now, the way things are playing out, as this article suggests, Fetterman just has a big enough tent to win. Like let's look at this objectively. Who does Lamb have in his base? He has moderate Democrats, the vote blue no matter who types, and can maybe get some Republicans to back him. That's essentially it. And here's the thing. Some Republicans might not even vote for him because Trump hates this guy. Trump hates Lamb and even lied about him and said, Lamb voted for Pelosi. Even though Lamb didn't, because he knew that would hurt him. Because he was trying to run as I'm like Mr. Moderate. I think Pelosi's too far left. That's what he ran as. But here's the thing. The groups that he can get, the groups that people think, these are the groups that we need to win, those are the only two groups he has. Progressives won't vote for him. And that's a really big, and here's another group. There's another faction. Eastern and Western Pennsylvania. This guy, I think him and Fetterman are on the, if I remember correctly, they're on the east side. Yeah, they're on the east side of Pennsylvania. The west side of Pennsylvania has been completely vacant, aside from Malcolm Kenyatta. Malcolm Kenyatta is the only guy of that side of the race, on that side of the aisle in that race. But here's the thing. This guy, Lamb, he literally does not have that much recognition outside of his district. Meanwhile, Fetterman can get people from Western Pennsylvania because he's the lieutenant governor. He can get Republicans because he's the lieutenant governor. He can get progressives because he's a progressive, but also because he's the lieutenant governor. Those moderate Dems who will vote for Conor Lamb will vote for Fetterman because they'll vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is. And if not, they'll probably just support him because he's the lieutenant governor. He's essentially weaseled his way into getting all the people who he needs to win to vote for him. Fetterman has everybody in lockstep and key. He's the only candidate that can actually win wholeheartedly. Lamb just doesn't have that big of a tent. There are a lot of people who see, even, this is the thing, and don't take my word for it. I've talked to people in Pennsylvania. This is the truth. People in Pennsylvania point blank tell me, even though they agree with Lamb more ideologically, Fetterman is the better choice because Fetterman just is a genuine person and just has a bigger. I brought that to their attention. Fetterman just has a bigger tent, and they're yeah, that makes sense. That's my point. The only people who don't like Fetterman are the people who have hate boners for the left. They're not looking at this race objectively. Objectively, Fetterman is walking away with this race, and Lamb, he ain't getting saved. So anyways, now let's move on to another good story. Okay, so after FBI raid, Democratic Congressman feels the love from a network of trolls. Turns out Henry Cuellar actually has his own trollbot army. Let's see. On January 21st, FBI agents raided the home and campaign office of Henry Cuellar. And it wasn't long before the love came pouring in on Twitter, with Cuellar diehard stuffing his replies with encouragement in a few days. Here we will be supporting until the end. Bravo, many more achievements. We're getting better and better for the better things of our country. Hopefully Henry can stay in Congress. But these well-wishers aren't constituents, supporters, or adoring fans. They're a coordinated network of fake troll accounts, and they're on a mission. Cuellar is one of the most conservative Democrats in Congress, and has never seen much engagement before the raids, with his tweets normally only drawing half a dozen or so replies, but after the FBI came knocking, Cuellar's replies teamed with critics calling on him to resign, reminding him of the investigation and taunting 9-term congressman with the thought of prison. Within a week, those replies were matched with missives from the ostensible supporters swooping in to battle the haters. The curious Twitter network of Cuellar defenders was first reported on Tuesday by The Intercept. Experts say that Cuellar positive accounts bear the hallmarks of an inauthentic network meant to amplify and distort narratives online, Many of the accounts were created in January or February of this year, just after the FBI raid, which could suggest they are controlled by the same actor, while another bunch were similarly created in July or August of 2021. Queer content makes up the overwhelming majority of the interactions and may comment religiously on his posts. So yeah, looks like Cuellar has his own little Russiagate going on. Now, I can't wait for the media to talk about this for a million years. Oh wait, no, it's not. But Cuellar doing this indicates that he's scared, and he should be scared. The dude literally almost lost to Jessica Cisneros in the last election. So this election cycle, people are expecting a Marie Newman-style win. So we'll have to wait and see, but that does seem likely, especially considering early voting has started. So if you're a Texan who hasn't voted yet in the whatever district this guy is in, 26, I believe, go vote for his opponent, Jessica Cisneros. So anyways, next story is not one that's good, but it seems to be interesting. McCarthy picks his path on Cheney, try to boot her from Congress. So basically, this is to show that it seems that Trump again has control of the GOP. Kevin McCarthy is throwing off tradition and supporting a primary challenger to one of his own members. The incumbent is Liz Cheney. The GOP's later decision to wade into the primary battle and support the Trump-endorsed Harriet Hageman marks a departure from the status quo of top party leaders protecting the incumbents. It also casts off a dramatic implosion of the relationship that strained after the January 6th attack. McCarthy's decision came as he faced persistent pressure from his right flank to take action against Cheney, whose involvement on the January 6th Select Committee has fueled animosity from her colleagues. While some conservatives, including many in the House Freedom Caucus, want to remove her from the GOP conference, Republican leaders have opposed that move. Instead, McCarthy's endorsement, first told by the Federalists, suggests he is hoping to kick her out of Congress entirely. So yeah, it looks like the Trump takeover of the GOP is officially complete. If someone like McCarthy is officially going to endorse the Trump-backed candidate, it seems pretty obvious that he's official. In this scenario, if he just endorsed a Trump-backed candidate in an open seat, nobody would care. But the fact that he's endorsing a Trump-backed candidate in a incumbent seat is big, and not even the fact that it's just he's endorsing them. It's not even that he would endorse Cheney, mind you. He probably would have originally, but in this situation he probably would have stayed quiet because again, one thing that I say that is going to make up the 2024 election, the people who are going to end up being near the top of the field are going to be it's going to be dominated by people who are essentially Trump agnostics. People who said just enough to please Trump voters, but also said just enough to make never-Trumpers go, maybe we might support you instead. Basically, they're going to try and weasel their way into that, and maybe they're going to actually try and make it so that they could actually win. I don't think they would. Maybe they would, maybe they won't. I guess it would probably depend on which side they try to lean on more. But we'll have to wait and see on that. All I know is, this is the Trump party now. So anyways, now on to the last story. This one is interesting. Minnesota Representative Hagedorn dies of cancer. Representative Jim Hagedorn has died of kidney cancer, his wife announced Friday morning. Hagedorn, 59, has served Congress since 2019 after winning a district alongside his state borders with Iowa. He followed his father Tom Hagedorn, who represented the same district in the late 70s and early 80s. Now, there's a reason why I'm talking about this. Normally, if a member of Congress died, I wouldn't necessarily talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it for this reason. Jim Hagedorn, he represents Minnesota District 1st. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because, let's look at the elections. Minnesota District 1st, 2014, Democrat, close Republican, and a slightly further off Republican victory. This is a potentially flippable seat. It says likely are, but this is potentially flippable. We have seen flippable. This is a flippable seat, but it's one of those ones where it's kind of lowish priority. That's the only reason why I'm talking about this. Minnesota District 1. Be on the lookout. So anyways, now let's move on to the main topic of this video. I dreaded this, but basically, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about my YouTube career prior to the year 2018. Now, this is going to be interesting. As you can see, the account is just a name. And here's the thing. This is actually the account that I still use to like videos and subscribe to channels. So if you're paying attention and you see this channel in your subscriptions, you'll be like, oh, then now that makes sense. You probably already guessed that, but I mean, there's nothing else to just... Okay, so basically, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to say, like, why am I doing this? Why am I talking about this in particular? Like I said at the beginning, content. This could be content. But the second reason I'm going to talk about this is because I speculated that this could have potentially been a quote-unquote cancelable moment of me. Now, here's the thing. That immediately will make you raise your eyebrows and go, what do you mean? What do you mean cancelable moment? And we'll get into that when we get into that. But basically, I get the jump on you. You can't use this to cancel me because I'm publicly putting it out there. Can't use it to cancel me now. Okay, so, again, what is this? What is this channel? Now, basically, let me explain. Ever since I was a young lad, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I always desperately wanted to be a YouTuber. And I had many ideas on what I would do for YouTube channels. And I might make a video where I talk about all the ideas that I had. I probably won't, but now that I said that, I probably will. So basically, I wanted to do a lot of things, and I had a lot of ideas. But as a young kid, I didn't necessarily have the materials to make those ideas work. Like, I didn't have a camera, I didn't have a microphone, I didn't have good editing software, I didn't have good editing skills. I had nothing that would actually make good YouTube content. And I tried to figure out a way to make YouTube videos. Like, I didn't know how to use Flash. I had a lot of ideas. I wanted to be a media critic, like the Nostalgia Critic. But I was afraid of, copyright issues. I wanted to be an animator and make, little cartoons. But I didn't know how to use Flash. Maybe I would be a Let's Player. I don't have a capture card. Maybe... as I said, I had the ideas, but I didn't have the materials necessary to make those ideas. What I essentially decided to do was... Okay, so basically, one day when I was 13, 14... Yeah, 14. I found an app called the Draw Cartoons app. It was an app on my phone that was like a little stick cartoon app. And with that, I would make little stick men. And they would walk around and do stuff. So what I decided to do was, since it was 2014, I made a YouTube video. And this is the video that I made. So as you could tell, I made that. It was a cute little funny sketch. Haha, get it? Justin Bieber, get it? Justin Bieber, remember that? When people hated Justin Bieber and wanted to it literally made posts on YouTube and stuff about how they wanted to kill Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is so cringe. All that, remember that? I jumped on that trend. and I made a video. And it got 145 views. And before you ask, a lot of these viewers are probably me. So yeah, it's like right here. 2014. I was 14 at the time. So what I decided to do, because I didn't want to just be like I wanted to have like shows. The thing about YouTubers is that you want to make shows. Most YouTubers, especially the YouTubers I watched, I watched stuff like, at the time, the Nostalgia Critic and stuff. The Angry Video Game Nerd. So I was like, but I really wanted to be a reviewer. I had like many ideas for reviewer personas that I could do. I even had a plan. I even literally had a plan when I was younger to like make a channel awesome with a bunch of friends that I had. I didn't tell any of them this, but I had an idea, and I thought about it. Now, basically, what I decided to do was that the thing that I decided to do, you could probably tell based on this. The thing that I decided to do to make a reviewer persona was something called the fanfiction connoisseur. The fanfiction connoisseur, as the name can suggest, like it says right here, what's this show about? It's about me reviewing bad fanfictions. What does it take for it to be a bad fanfiction? Plot holes, horrible spelling, blah, blah, blah. Will you review these bad fanfictions? Maybe. Will you do storylines? Yes, because I liked the car at the time. Will you do crossovers? If people want to cross over with me, they can. I actually never ended up doing a crossover. Okay, so basically, that's what it was. Now, here's the thing. You might be wondering why fanfictions. You must have like been like this huge like fandom nerd that was like on Tumblr all the time that like looked at fanfiction and stuff. It's like, no, I actually didn't care about fanfictions at all. There's some of you that might be watching this that might be like, like big uh-ohs. I did not care about fanfictions at all before making the fanfiction connoisseur. I did not care at all. Scratch that. I did kind of care. Now you might say, now, let me give you a little bit of backstory, because here's the thing. The fanfiction connoisseur character actually technically exists a little bit before I made my YouTube channel. Well, not before I made my YouTube channel, but before I made like YouTube videos. You see, I actually posted 2 text reviews on fanfiction.net of a fanfiction called Adventure Time and another fanfiction called She Wants to Be. Now, the thing is, like I made these 2 text reviews, and when I did these 2 text reviews, it was literally in the style of the Nostalgia Critic, where for some reason I decided to copy paste the entire fanfiction and then insert like witty jokes like, haha, I get it. Like, I did that instead of actually, reviewing the fanfiction as a review, because that was what the Nostalgia Critic did, right? His reviews are when you take the film and then splice in funny jokes in it, right? That's what a review is, right? And that's what I did for them. And that's what I did for this show. When as you can see right here, Hitler, and let me see, where's there's this is the first episode, She Wants to Be. That's what I do. Let me see if I can find it when it begins. Okay. See? That's what I did. She needs... That's me. That's supposed to be from the fanfiction, and this is supposed to be me being like, of course. Now, you see, most people, when they try to do that, they would usually have like a little book. Like, if it was like him reading from the fanfiction, it'd be like a book or something. I didn't do that because there wasn't a book in the animation software. Well, animation software. It was an app. Literally, it was an app. There was no book character. I had a very limited character model sheets. Look at me. I'm trying to sound so professional when it's literally just I took Stickman app. And as you can see, this was, like I could tell, it was portrait format because it was a phone. Okay, so this is hilarious. All things considered. Basically, that's what the show was. Now you may notice a couple other. I made like other videos as well, like during the Mr. Enter saga where he was like kicked off of YouTube and then brought back on. I did this. I made continual updates. I made this video where I talked about Ricardo Medina killing people. I made a 4 subscriber special. This is the day. This is the classics. 4 subscriber specials. Ooh, I just called myself out there. This is the thing I don't do anymore. Like, I mean, you could actually, you won't check it. This account is not subscribed to the Pluribus Unum account. That's the thing I'm making very abundantly clear. I can post screen caps to prove it. I could switch the accounts right now, but I'm not going to. Let me see. But I did make 2 YouTube accounts by accident. It was during the Google Plus thing. I made like the first YouTube account. Then I made my second YouTube account because of the Google Plus thing. Google Plus forced you to make an account with your name. And then now I have the Pluribus Unum account. And I actually turned that first account into the Pluribus Unum Patrons account, where I would post the Patreon exclusive content. But as you can see, like, eventually I even did more of the Beaver Killer thing. See, here's another short of the Beaver Killer. Let me see. Basically, as you can see, I'm kind of rambling when I go to this. That's because I don't know if I should, like, explain all of this yet. I'll explain it when you get the general concepts of what I was posting. Then I'll go over a little bit in depth. Now, as I get more, while I'm at it, I might as well just say here. The last show that I made, the Nintendork. The Nintendork, as you could probably guess, is a video game reviewer. That's literally it. He's supposed to be a video game reviewer, but he doesn't have the actual video games to review. Because, again, I couldn't. These were little stickman cartoons that I made on my phone. I couldn't necessarily import video game footage. And even then, I couldn't capture it outside of recording it off my phone. And I knew that was going to be a very, very bad video. But as you could probably guess, I made 3, like how Nostalgia Critic's 3 shows were like Video Game Confessions and Nostalgia Critic and Bum Reviews. I felt that it was my duty to have 3 shows as well. And my 3 shows were the Fanfiction Connoisseur, a show where I reviewed fanfictions, the Nintendork, a show where I reviewed video games, and Beaver Killer, a show. This was, as you could probably tell just by looking at this, you could tell which shows that I favored more. This one has 32 episodes. This one has 20. This one has 9. I guess we might as well talk about the Nintendork first, because the Nintendork. This is bringing back so many memories. This guy couldn't catch a break. I did not do that much with him because I legitimately did not care that much for him. Because even back then, I think I literally made him with the sole purpose of him being a parody. I didn't intend for him to actually be a very serious character. But then, episode 2, I decided to make an episode 2 where he's like where he has a change of heart and he's no longer going to be an AVGN ripoff. And I even went so far as to actually do this really big thing where I was going to I made top 4 Smash DLC characters. Okay, so let me see. I predicted Ridley would be in the game. Come on. Be faster. I predicted Young would come back in the game. Okay, Spyro. You know what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Like I said, I didn't care that much for him. This was like the video that I put the most effort in for him. I kind of, and I'll get to that. I was about to say something that I technically should be saved for later, but I felt kind of obligated to make content for him. These 2 shows were sort of the magnum opus, and before you can tell, let me show you a little bit more. I have more playlists of more content that I made, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. You see, my original plan for the Fanfiction Connoisseur was that since I would only be able to export 1 video for Fanfiction Connoisseur when I originally made him, I decided that it would be best for me to take the storylines and put them in their own separate contents. Let me see. There it is, the storyline. This thing used to be titled The Storyline Thus Far, but I didn't do that. But as you can tell, I did end up actually putting the storylines into the Fanfiction Connoisseur. I should have probably did this with more of a script in mind, but this is more authentic. More of the flashbacks. I even made this video, the character profiles of the Mask Clan, just because I had to make a video where these characters existed so you knew who they were. Because I didn't have a way to actually put them in a video beforehand outside of that. Okay, so let's see. I made like OC month. You know, like with the Snatch Card, they have theme months. I made MOP month, as you saw in that thing. There was Tales from the Web, which was my Halloween thing. Confrontations of the Past is another storyline. 3-year mockumentary, 2-year anniversary, 4-year anniversary. Like those are for like the channel awesome rip-off anniversary specials. I didn't rip off the contents of the specials. I did my own thing. I did the Torment storyline because no one's ever heard of that before. But I guess we might as well go back to looking at oldest added videos first. And this is, okay, I guess I'm going to address this now. I was a 14-year-old child at the time, and you've probably seen this thumbnail a little bit, and went, wait, does that say what I think it says? And before you ask, the reason why it says that is because this is a fan fiction. Like, it was a SpongeBob fan fiction written with the only purpose of trolling homosexuals. Let me see. Let me wire you with the actual quotes from the fan fiction. SpongeBob had gasped and then put the letter down. He said, "Oh no, Squidward is an N-word, F-word. I need to warn him because of his divine ways so H3 does not born." That was because I was like, at the time, I was like in the whole like SpongeBob's gay. Like, I mean, I might say, no, that's just me. That's just quotes. That's just quotes. That doesn't matter. But here's the thing. I can't find the video. Damn it. I should have had the video prepared in mind. Now this thumbnail is definitely that thumbnail definitely don't age well. Let me see. Like, you see, I made other videos. Let me see, I had a top 10. This was a brief period where I tried to make different content. This didn't work so well. because I didn't make any more content. And as you can tell, my original profile picture was that of the Blockbuster Buster, a YouTuber who was a channel awesome producer who I liked at the time, and I just liked him. I thought he was cool. As he kept making content, I kind of got bored of his content. And then this is a weird tangent, for those who for a lot of you probably don't know or care. But I literally, while I was preparing for this idea, I was like, I wonder what's up with the Blockbuster Buster. I was just curious one day, looked at Blockbuster Buster, and the first thing I saw on Twitter was him saying that his wife died of COVID, and it's like, well, that's a very interesting thing to see. But anyways, let's continue talking about this past, this very shameful, disgusting past that I made. Oh no, wait. Here's what I know. This is gonna be spoilers if you actually care enough about my content. Because believe it or not, I actually did attempt to produce really good content despite the limitations. And to a degree, I actually argue sometimes I actually did a good job. Let me see. Killer Season 2. I think it's in episode 9. See, this is 2016. Let me explain. Let me see. I'm trying to get to the part that will cancel me. That'll make me cancelable. Here it is. I was an edgy kid, so as an edgy kid who finally gets on the internet and is able to make content, what's the first thing I do? Well, what's the thing I decide to do a lot? I decide to put in a lot of really edgy jokes. Now this edgy joke I'll actually defend, because you see, this guy's supposed to be a bad guy, if you couldn't tell. So him being racist is just like, oh, get it? He's a bad guy. Bad guys, but racist. But there are other videos where it's like, it's literally just to be edgy. I have characters say really insensitive things. And it's like, there ain't much else I could do except own up to it and be like, yeah, I did it. If I went back, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I can't change the past. Like, I distinctly remember, I don't remember which video it is. I just watched it not that long ago. Where one character in the fanfiction connoisseur, let me see. I'll pull up the character at the very least so you know who he is. That is not. Wait, that actually would have been helpful with the channel trailer. Because he's in here too. By the way, I stole this song from Super Mario Bros. Z. And the video, like, it was stolen from that, which was stolen from Mega Man, so. But as you can see, I definitely still had that like idea of like making the channel trailer that is more than just, hey, this is my channel, how you doing? You see, I had this character named Billy, and for some reason, just randomly, the joke was, it's like, characters were being obscenely racist and offensive, and the joke was that it's like, the fanfiction kind of store was reviewing the fanfiction, and it was like, the fanfiction is very obscene and offensive for no reason. Isn't that right, Billy? And the Billy was responding, yes, and then he would say like a bunch of racial slurs. Oh, this episode probably got me shared in the group chats, or will be. I don't know. I don't care. I probably will, just so everybody can laugh and cringe at this as well. But again, essentially, it keeps getting hard to explain. Let me see. Let me just go to more popular so you can see. I actually did end up, like as you can see here, I ended up also doing some animateds. Like I ended up doing some Sleepycast animateds.
There is a world as tangible as our enveloped by a sway in that cat.
Yesterday? What?
Yes.
The poem, there once was a man from Nantucket. What is
He
it?
sat on
What
his,
is it?
for the first time yesterday. He sat on
the whole
his
thing.
fat ass and stuffed it.
No,
Now I actually ruined it because this is supposed to be Niall and not Chris.
There once was a man from Nantucket who had a very big bucket. His girlfriend called Nan, ran away with a van, and what happened to the bucket? Nan took it.
No, I thought it was the once was a man from
I like how
Nantucket.
that derailed at
What
the
the
end.
fuck are you talking about? It's like there once was.
Yeah, he had a long cock. He
There
could
once was
suck
a.
it.
Let's see. Yeah, but these two are my most popular, or some of my most popular videos for some reason. Now, this is one that got famous, and these 663 subscribers, these 663 views, are actually not me. You see, this was because this was part of a drama. Like, as you can see, this was part of the Cool Cat drama. If you don't remember. Okay, so basically it was just a little funny joke, and I shared it with a bunch of people, and it actually got shared by the by Bob's show, another content creator I was watching at the time, because he was also part of this drama in regards to it. And I see these two, well actually not these two, but just Bob's show. Bob's show actually kind of ripped me off, because even though I made this video and I made him laugh, he didn't post a review that I made for his December or October thingy. We had a bunch of other reviewers review stuff for him, and I guess there was nothing else I could do. Like, I mean, I'm grateful. Nah, I'm kidding. If Bob Show somehow manages to watch this, I'll probably put him in the tags, I guess, just for funnies. That'll be hilarious if this is what he sees of my channel. But anyways, again, this is getting really hard to explain because it's literally just me going over memories past of the cringe and whatever. You can tell there's a lot of Q&A announcements here. Because much like my current channel, there aren't a lot of people who were active on this channel. Especially considering I had very significantly less subscribers than what I do now. I had 40. This is the highest my subscriber base ever was, because I didn't know anything about tags. I didn't know anything about anything. In fact, I might actually start putting proper tags in these just so they can get more attention, just because why not? Okay, let me see. Uploads. Let me see. More. I need more cringe. I'll get to now. This video title and thumbnail is definitely it's definitely a topic I'm gonna get to in a little bit. You see, I submitted this for the NerdSync 100th episode because it was like, hey, this is interesting. It was basically like put in random facts of like comic books, and then this is the comic book fact where it's like revealed that Peter Parker was molested by his friend Skip. Okay, let me see. Basically, I guess I should talk about the fan fiction connoisseur because he was the main focus. Oh, and by the way, you see this really nice logo of the fan fiction connoisseur? This really incredibly nice logo that was really good and really interesting. Yeah, I did not make that. That was not made by me. All of the this guy, Xandroid Productions, he was the guy who made that. Now here's the thing. I don't know why, but for some reason, this guy, Xandrew, was like the one person who actually gave a shit about my content. He was like the one guy who cared. I still have no clue why. He did not have to do anything. He did not have to like any of my videos. In fact, he says, he has a comment right here, not my cup of tea. Well, not my cup of tea, but not my cup of hot chocolate. But he still came to basically all my videos, liked and commented. Well, he didn't comment on all of them, but he liked a lot of them. He did not have to. He made a logo for me. I was still 14. This guy did it. He did a lot more than he needed to do, and I give him massive props. And if any of you are concerned, nothing happened in DMs. There were no DMs to be had. There was nothing wrong with him. He's a good Christian man. Leave him alone. To my knowledge, he's not Catholic. Don't put that on him. Okay. Dang it, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, here's one. This is funny. Aw, what? Okay, phew. I was concerned for a second. What? Oh, okay. Phew. I was concerned for a second that for a lot of reasons. Okay, so this is funny. This is hilarious. Okay, so this video is actually a little controversial. Not to me, but to someone else. And you will see. Oh, this is where I can lead into this trend. Like, you see this rock theme that is the Rick and Morty theme? Like, you see this rock theme of Rick and Morty? Yeah, I stole that. And I did not credit the person who made it. In fact, I actually stole the Rick and Morty theme. Just randomly. I chose that to be the intro for this channel. I liked Rick and Morty at the time. And this rock theme wouldn't get me in trouble because it wasn't the real Rick and Morty theme. The Rick and Morty theme was made by a musician called Bulb or Misha Mansour. So, and the original theme was made by Ryan Elder. So just to get that out of the way. Yeah, I did steal the theme because I had this really skewed theme on what Fair Use was thanks to Doug Walker. This is my storyline, my big epic storyline. Believe it or not, I actually did think that this was really big and epic. And I do wholeheartedly state that I didn't mention why this episode was controversial. Dang it. Okay, so this is OC month, and the reason why this episode was controversial was all stemming from who this fanfiction is from. It's a crappy self-insert fanfiction that was written by Now, again, many of you probably have no clue who that man was, and you're probably just confused. Like, what is a Linkara? Well, Linkara is a comic book reviewer that I liked at the time, who I basically decided to rip off and try to be like, because I have cool epic storylines like him, because he puts storylines in his show where he reviews comic books, and by reviews comic books I mean reads them and then craps on them. That's what he does. But here's the thing, I actually sent this review to Linkara, because Linkara, like, at the time, he, like, posted on Twitter, like, oh, if you ask me to retweet something, I'll retweet it. And then I asked him to retweet it, and then he said, no thanks, I will not be retweeting this, because I do not want to bring out my old shame. And it's like, dude, who cares? I'm doing that exactly what you're saying. I don't want to bring back old shame. I guess we're just on different wavelengths, me and this Linkara fellow. Okay, dang it, it's really hard to streamline this into an actual good format. Now, as you can tell, I also, as things went on, things got better content-wise. And my storylines got more thing. I inevitably got Photoshop and started using Photoshop to make my thumbnails. I proposed a brand new series called Fan Theory, where I would as you can tell, I stole the Game Theory theme song, where I would review and look at fan theories, because that is what would be good. See, all these were all theories that I planned to cover. Well, yeah, these were all theories that I planned to cover. And then I also planned to maybe cover fan theories about my own show. None of those make sense since none of you have seen this show. And none of these characters make sense because you haven't seen the show. Oh yeah, and this picture was actually drawn by Xandru. Because again, he went above and beyond for some reason. I have no clue why. Okay. Oh, here's another one. No, it makes more sense if I show you, dang it, where'd it go? It makes more sense if I show you this one. Okay, so I actually planned on doing another show. This guy, you see, many people, I don't think anybody knew who this person was. This person was a person I teased to be like the new third show. And the idea was that he would be sort of like basically my drama persona. He would be the guy that like does like not H3, well, I guess kind of H3, where he would look at other YouTubers and talk about other like stuff like drama and just stuff like that. And it was definitely a concept that I didn't end up doing. I guess I was concerned or something. I don't know why I didn't do it. Because I'm stupid. I keep going through all these and I keep trying to do more shows. Basically, what ended up killing this channel was that I kept trying to do more. And as you can tell, like basically, I kept trying to do a lot. And this video is kind of an exemplary of something. This is supposed to be me, my new persona. Remember when people like my stuff? No. I mean, it's not like I put months of work and effort writing, animating, and editing my videos and creating quality content only to be greeted with no views. Fifth figure comes from the next episode tomorrow, by the way. But this was basically me venting. Now this was basically just me venting because I'm crying like a baby bitch. Because I was like, why don't people watch me? Even though it's like, again, tags. No tags, no hashtags, no nothing. And yet I was just like, please watch me, people, please. Like, I mean, this video I actually like, nothing considered. This was like basically me trying to do the Amazing Atheist style, or like the anti-SGW style, kind of. Where I would, well, not even the anti-SGW, like the skeptic community style, where it's like, take video, you splice up video, and then you critique video throughout the video. Where it was basically like a review. It's as if you're watching the movie or the video with them in real time. Here's another update video where you could tell maybe I was not that quite happy. Where's the animator? See, look, me sad and drunk. Even though I was not of legal age to drink at the time. Don't worry, I didn't actually drink. This was just me being, because that is what the big common joke was. And before you ask, who's this alien? You're not going to find out. You're going to find out if you watch the content. So don't you want to update your subscribers? Because I hadn't posted a video in a while. Tell who? And who do I say, hey guys, I haven't been working because I've been a Debbie Downer. You have 30-something subs. And yet nobody watches. You see, I was not going through the happy at the moment. And I still don't. But basically, I powered through and I made a lot of videos. And that, like, the little views I got were nice, but I still strived for more, and I kept trying to branch out. Like, I started doing, like, skeptic style videos. Like, this is, I like this video, where I even, like, I made nice, cool formats for the content. See, get it, joke? Pepe, Bible, and 33,000 emails in the trash. Let's see, what's this? Okay, so this is supposed to be like me, like being like, oh, see, these are books that I have. The Communist Manifesto, The God Delusion, and Origin of a Species, and Environment Supreme's Boot, and a Bernie pop figure. Get it? Because I'm supposed to be lefty, and there's the atheist symbol, and there's a flag with the third parties on it. That was supposed to be me being like, I thought it was a good video response. Let me see, this is one where he reviews a political slash flick. But yeah, as you can tell, I try to do story time animations. Let me see, does this one have me being depressed in it? So I feel it's time to give you an update on some shit. First of all, school started back, so content will be slow. First fanfish got a sore. Okay. Oh, this one's funny. Fanfiction kind of started pretty in pink. That's not even the name of the fanfiction. The fanfiction is called Agony in Pink. But you see, the content I made a lot of things, and you should watch all of them. Actually, you shouldn't, but maybe you should. But maybe you shouldn't. But then again, maybe you should. For a lot of reasons, it just didn't work out. Like, I mean, for starters, I just kind of started getting bored of the content. Like, I mean, the reviewer persona, I just kind of got bored. Like, I mean, as you can tell, like, look at all these reviews. Like, even as you watch it, you notice that I made more storyline videos. Oh, let me see. Is that actually true? Let me see. See, 32 videos that are just normal reviews. That are supposed to be reviews only. Oh, so the storyline had 31 videos. Okay, so maybe not as big as I thought it was. But as you can tell, I definitely did a lot of storyline related content. Even then, I'm actually sure I might have missed something. The storyline content, I ended up focusing a lot more on the storyline as I got older, because I was like more avant-garde. I don't even think that's accurate words for it. But essentially, I wanted to be like a make real content, not just reviews. And a lot of things actually made it so that I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I mean, the reviews took a while to make. Even though these were simple stick animations, I was more ambitious. Let me see. Is there a good fight scene in here? There's no good fight scene in here. The fight scene's in a different episode. Dang it. The actual fight scene's in here, maybe. That's not a fight scene. But it's like, you see, I improved my craft better. But as I grew up, I wanted to be a bit more like actual content. And then as I continued, I ended up getting a little bit more political in my orientation of content. I started adding more political jokes. Started being a bit more abundantly clear of political affiliations. Like, for example, the Chris Reagan Lacey Green fanfiction. I wouldn't review that if I wasn't political at all. I started trying to make skeptic videos. And, like, there was a little review collective that was like a small little, it was like basically a little small channel awesome called Those Dudes with a Hat. You probably watch them. No, you probably don't. They're like I said, they're like a little small review collective similar to Channel Awesome. I wanted to be on them, but they didn't let me on. And they didn't give me a response. But it's essentially just like, well, you clearly didn't want me. That stinks. And this title probably suggests something. See, it's The Review Must Go On. For those who don't know, that's a reference to the Nostalgia Critic. And the reason why that's the title of this video is because the review personas are mad because it turns out that Channel Awesome, the people who basically inspired this entire thing, were kind of just big jerks. They mismanaged so much of their site that it wasn't even funny. And that kind of added with it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like making the videos anymore. Like, I mean, and that's not even necessarily true. I liked making the videos. But I didn't see the benefits. The benefits didn't outweigh the benefits didn't outweigh the whatevers. And this video basically exemplifies this because, I mean, how many of my videos did I actually make when I was 18? I didn't make any videos when I was 18. I made them when I was 17. Let me see. My first video on this channel. This is my first video. Dang it. My first video on this channel was 3 years ago. May 10th, 2018. But my channel was actually created in November 26, 2017, you see, once I got a microphone, I basically wanted to do this channel. I basically knew at 2017 that I wanted to make this channel. This was the new thing I wanted to do. It took a while for me to think of what I wanted to do with this channel, and even then, all the things that I planned to do with this channel, I didn't actually end up doing. See, originally I originally wanted to do this channel as like a everything. I'd basically give serious political content and, you know, satire political content. That would basically be whatever. I'd do sketches and stuff as well. That didn't end up panning out either. But essentially, well, let me see. Like, I essentially ended up going, you know what, I'll make this content, I'll make this channel as a backup. I'll think of this, and I'll think about it. I basically, like, I don't remember when. At some point during 2017. Let me see. This is 2016, 2017. At some point during 2017, I came up with the idea of the channel Pluribus Unum, and I was like, I want to do this. I think that this would probably be better for me. I genuinely think that this would be a good channel. And as you can tell, the views on this channel were not necessarily up to snuff. So I made the channel in November 26, 2017. But by that point, I had already figured out like things I wanted to do. I wanted to make these kind of like educational videos. I wanted to make podcasts. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. And it basically was like, I actually did kind of like, I mean, I said, this is a video right here where I basically give up on the channel. And I was still making content for this channel. I was still trying to make it work. But again, I just felt that I outgrew it. After the third storylines, does this mean the end of your persona? Not entirely sure. Yes, that was a lie. I ended up making, I basically was like, you know what? If it works, it works. Like, I was thinking, like, if this channel does well, then but here's the thing, I actually did end up still wanting to continue this channel because I felt empty leaving this channel to die. I wanted to wrap up the fanfiction connoisseur storyline. I wanted to finish the Bieber Killer story. I wanted to give Nintendo some sort of conclusion. And that's where it says in this video. Because I was trying to make that conclusion, and it was just hard to make it. Like, I actually did make, like, I mean, even though it says 2 seasons of Bieber Killer on this channel, I actually did end up beginning to make season 3. I made it on a webcomic website, and sadly, that does not exist anymore. So, and you can actually tell, again, improve the craft. This season of Bieber Killer was going to be the biggest and baddest of the bunch. It was going to deal with a lot more heavy topics. It was going to do a lot more. And it was getting politicized a little bit. But again, that didn't end up panning out. Because right here, Bieber Killer season 3 intro. That was the plan. I'll just say it for those who don't know, which is all of you. Let me see. This guy was supposed to be the leader of a fascist party that was running for president of the Bieber Killer universe. And then he would, like, the fascist part would be like he wants to eradicate all of the Bieber clones. That would be his, like, fascist plan. And it would be like this big thing where it's like, oh, we gotta stop him. But he was very obviously a neo-fascist wing. I even designed his, like, little minions to have his, like, little black hoods, like KKK members. You know, they have black hoods covering their face to be like, they're basically a mix of the red shirts, the brown shirts, and the KKK. But essentially, again, I did want to continue, but I just didn't really see a point to. This channel started blowing up. And as you could tell, let me see. The highest viewed video on this channel is not here. The highest viewed video has 1.2k views on here, 7.9k views here. Again, mix of a lot of things. I didn't see the benefits of continuing this brand. This brand was popping off, and this is content that I enjoyed a lot, making a lot more. I mean, the earliest videos here, they took a week to make. The earliest videos here, even in the earliest, took a month to make. Because I didn't want to just make a little crappy 1 minute cartoon and be done. I wanted to do more. And this channel has actually kind of allowed me to do more. I've grown as a content creator. I do a lot more editing. And you may have been seeing in recent videos, I've actually been bringing back the little anime characters from the Draw Cartoons app. Just so they can be in here, because remember my past? No, you don't. But again, this is just how it was. There's not much else I could say. Except, I guess I should probably explain another reason why I'm doing it on this day. Why I'm making this video at all. This video is going to come out on the 21st. That's when the first episode of the Fanfiction Connoisseur was made. You see, because at the end of the day, I still care about this stuff. You can't erase this. This is part of my online identity. I made these videos for good, bad, and ugly. I made them. You're free to watch them. I'm not going to take them down. I don't plan on taking them down. Even the ones that are very offensive, I don't plan on taking them down. I mean, I acknowledge that let me see. It's one of the Halloween videos. I think. Is it this one? Is it this one? Come on. No, it has to be the other one. What's this? Do I have a sound in this part? No, I don't. I have sound in this part because I did end up putting clips in there eventually.
Turns out, hit the Pokemon, they are all my dead girlfriend, but hyper-realistic and blood-eye.
Is it not even that, This is part of my online identity, and there's not much else I can do to change it. I mean, again, that's essentially all I can say. I'll include a link to the channel in the description if you want to watch it. If not, well, at least it's out there for those who want to cancel me. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when a future video of mine comes out. And if you're interested in more content from me, you can go to my website, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, check out my articles on the Independent Political Report, or consider supporting me on Patreon.